Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another sabotaged episode of The Good
Game.
Guys.
With one of the hosts missing again.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, this time around, apparently the reason Loud Kid isn't with us is because of his aunt visiting from Hawaii, and I guess his mom pretty much just dragged him along with, or something like that.
Alright.
I don't know, I'm just sitting here kind of wondering if his mom and my grandma are working together to try and sabotage our show.
Whatever.
Good news is, my grandma's not here. She can't fuck us up somehow.
Aside from you continuing to talk about her.
Hey, I gotta cope with it somehow, dude.
Yo, so now we all do? Okay,
Yes.
thanks for that.
You gotta cope with me. Give me a
No,
hug.
I don't.
I need a
Bye.
hug, dude. What the hell, man?
Click.
Anyway, we are at least here, and those people that happen to be here are your hosts, Dr.Captain.
I'm Dig.
And I'm the NPC.
And man, what a fun week we've been having so far. Like, I don't know about
Is it fun yet?
I would say so.
A fun start?
Should I go ahead and start off with how my week has been?
Oh, go right ahead.
So, Metal Gear Solid 5 happened.
Do you have it yet?
Yes, I have it.
Goddamn. I need to find someone that'll, like, I don't know, help me out a little bit.
Chat, this is your time to shine.
Or, you know, call in some debts that are owed.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, of course you don't. You haven't for years.
So yeah, I've been desperate enough to actually consider the PS3 version, so there's that.
So, yeah, just Metal Gear Solid 5 so far has actually been, like, a really fucking good game. Like, no spoilers, but I did finally just have the ability to have Dee Dee come with me on missions. And I got to try that out a little bit before I went to bed. And that's some cool fucking shit right there.
Right on.
Like, Dee Dee acts like a walking sentry, or a sonar for me. And you can even stick Dee Dee up on other guards that you're looking at. So you can either have him equip him up with a knife to where he goes up and kills a guard, or you can give him a stun knife where he goes and stuns people, and then you can
knife.
Yeah, it's something they introduced in Portable Ops. So, you know, with 1974 technology, I think.
Lol.
I don't know, I think it was in Peace Walker because Portable Ops is pretty much non-canon at this point.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Peace Walker. I'm silly.
Yeah.
I keep mixing those two up for stupid reasons.
Portable Ops was a fun but flawed game. I mean, it's another one that Kojima doesn't recognize because he wasn't working on it really. But
the only thing I even really remember about Portable Ops was you met Roy Campbell before he was Colonel.
You rescue him at the beginning of the game, but like honestly, I would have to say that pretty much every flaw of that game was fixed in Peace Walker. So it's Metal Gear Solid. Why am I not just playing Peace Walker Edition?
Ain't that the truth?
Right.
My God, was the gameplay for that so slow? Like, without going too much into it, there's an early mission where you have to bypass a heavily guarded bridge in enemy territory. To do so, you set up sabotage points that draw the enemy troops away, but you don't know which points on the map to sabotage without spending days at a time spying at certain locations and hoping enemy chatter tells you something.
Right.
So you basically have to just fuck around capturing more troops while your spies idle. So it slows the game down way too much.
By the way, it looks like we got one of our friends in the chat room right now. Yeah, I watched an episode of Rick and Morty. It was stupid. I'm just waiting to see him rage now.
Oh, I can't handle that show.
I've been telling myself I really need to watch it because the recent promos they've been doing have paired it up with Weird Science. And that's possibly the best way you can get my attention is play Oingo Boingo music.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That
You woke the
that
sleeping
show kind
giant.
of strikes me as like something for those pipe hitting guys that I just I can't get into it.
Well,
It's too much nonsense.
it's like it's definitely not something you can judge just by looking at it, but if you're not a fan of really unscripted, improvised shows, you're probably not going to get into it. Because like a lot of the show is storyboard driven and some dialogue is very improvised.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that happens.
But anyway, back to Metal Gear.
Oh man, I'm loving this. The salt is flowing from this guy right now.
Ball.
He's a good friend of ours, so.
So
Who
do
is
you have
he?
any
Oh yeah, we know him.
It's like, so
Do
do
we?
you have any criticisms about Metal Gear Solid, or are we just gonna make fun of this guy all day?
I don't even know anymore. I kind of want to make fun of him, but we should really get back to Metal Gear. So-
Yeah, we should get back to the show.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get back to Metal Gear. So yeah, that's some of the cool things that DD has, and I'm just looking for a lot of the rest of the stuff. Like, I'm trying my best to avoid getting into spoiler territory, even though I'm still in the beginning of the game. I would never want to spoil anything until somebody has at least seen the scenes themselves. And I've got a couple theories on some of the villains that show up. I kind of
Sure, you want to get into that?
I kind of want to get into at least the one because you see him in the prologue. Like he's right there. You see a fire dude essentially, and that's all. That's more I'll say. Like he's
What
definitely
you will say. Okay.
like he's definitely just one of the bad guys that you're just gonna eventually run into.
Right.
Because like how they reveal the Cobra unit at Metal Gear Solid 3 kind of deal.
Right.
It's much like that.
Again, do you have any criticisms, anything you don't like about the game yet?
I gotta think on that one. I haven't really seen much that's kind of well, okay. There have been a few things that I've kind of gotten a little annoyed about, and you guys are all familiar with Assassin's Creed at this point, right?
Yeah.
So, whenever you try to climb up a wall in Assassin's Creed, like either Ezio or whoever, usually has like some kind of a weird, retarded way of not necessarily going up the exact corner you want them to, or they'll jump off or some stupid crap.
Oh, yeah, it's got some very sensitive controls.
I sort of have ran into that a couple of times in Peace Walker, especially when, riding around on the horse to get to places here and there.
Peace Walker.
God damn it! Oh, fuck me. Metal Gear Solid 5. Dude, you know what? Metal Gear Solid 5 really is like the console version of Peace Walker, like completely fleshed out.
But they
I'm not saying that's a criticism against it. Like,
Wasn't there a console version of Peace Walker called
just
Peace
the
Walker?
just the HD remake, because
Yeah.
Peace Walker was originally a
It was
PlayStation
originally a
or a
PSP
PSP.
game, but they put it in a bundle that gave you HD remakes of Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and Peace Walker.
Oh, right.
Thinking about picking that up just to like get that and a download of MGS1 and like marathon the series before playing 5.
I'm not sure if it would help at all. Because there's a lot of ridiculousness that barely ties each game to the next. Like, it does seriously feel like Final Fantasy.
Mhm.
In that all of the stories are completely disjointed and the only recurring character is not the same character.
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's disjointed like Final Fantasy, because there is still something of a timeline with it all.
Look, Metal Gear Solid has its Sid. It just so happens that Sid is the main character.
No, come on, that's not really fair. I mean, come on, let's really start getting into it all.
Let's not.
It's like either way, you know what they say. Anyone sane gave up following the story after 4.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't even remember anything that really happened in 4. Like, all I really remember, and hey, this game's been out for a while, fuck you if I'm spoiling it for you. You should have played it by now. All I really remember was it was a hunt to find Naomi to cure Snake of Fox Die, and that doesn't really work out. Raiden does some badass shit, which gets him his own spin-off game.
And then there's an old man fight.
There's an old man fight, and then Big Boss shows up to give a lot of exposition about Pretty much what happened during the Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 5 era.
To be fair, the old man fight was probably the most badass portion of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm underselling it, but Old Man Fight is probably the thing I was waiting the most for when I actually heard about 4.
It was probably like the best fight in the game. Well, yeah, no, it was probably the best fight in the game just because it had some amusing bits to it. But let's move on from Metal Gear Solid, dude. Like,
well, we got a couple news here and there about Metal Gear. So aside from Metal Gear, this week, oh god, what the fuck else happened?
lol.
No, I was thinking about this too earlier, and I wanted to talk about it. And it's all like, oh shit, I forgot. Oh, I kind of got excited over some news yesterday about Hulu.
Oh,
They're finally allowing you to pay extra money to avoid the advertisements. You can now pay $12.99 and you can't watch advertisements while using Hulu, so I might consider using it now.
$12.99 monthly or $12.99 one time?
Monthly, I'm sure.
Fuck you, I have Netflix.
Fuck you, Netflix is about to lose some TV shows.
They already did.
Like, I believe Netflix isn't going to be having any FX shows anymore now.
Boo-hoo, there's nothing good on FX anyway.
Also-
Excuse me? Excuse the fuck out of me? Did you really just go there?
He has a point. Anything good got moved to their sister channel, FXX. It's like the only thing left on FX proper is like Archer, but that's on hiatus, and American Horror Story.
Isn't Sunny in Philadelphia still on there?
Nope, they moved it to FXX.
Oh, wow.
So, you just got told?
No, Archer is still there. So fuck
Archer's
you.
bullshit and boring.
Dude, you're boring.
Archer is Rick and Morty times 3.
Fuck you. Show's over. Waste of time. Get the fuck out of here.
Everyone leave.
I'm with Yoshi now. Fuck this show. We're done.
You can't end the show because you didn't do it properly. You should have just ignored his argument because his authority is not recognized in Fort Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool.
Oh,
Can I
man.
go back to Fallout New Vegas then?
No. But anyway, how about you go ahead and get into what you've been doing?
Me or him?
You. Dig.
Alright. I've been streaming Fallout still. Like, I started a couple of weeks ago with Fallout 1, and I'm up to New Vegas currently.
Yeah, I caught you a couple days in the Pit DLC in Fallout 3. Apparently...
Well, I wasn't in the pit for a couple of days, but
Oh,
yeah.
well, a couple of days ago.
Right.
I don't know. You were kind of falling to your death trying to find those steel ingots, so I don't know. Maybe it was a couple days.
I was falling into the pit. Lol. Fallout humor, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because any of your friends would understand it. Moving right along, we, still in New Vegas, just got into, Nellis Air Force Base with the boomers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Made it in there on the second attempt. The first one I kind of derped.
So I haven't followed you so far in New Vegas. What alliance are you going with?
I'm probably going with NCR.
Really? You're not going with the true canonical ending?
Lol, because there is such a thing.
House, motherfucker.
The house always loses.
The fuck you say?
Cinequi, I am running no mods.
Yeah.
I am rolling a vanilla playthrough, so the game in all of its ugly glory.
How many times have you crashed so far, I'm wondering, because of that?
A lot. Lot. Like, thankfully, I've got everything. I've got everything set to, or what was I saying? I have everything installed on a solid-state hard drive, and so after it crashes, I load the game again, and then I'm back in it in like 12 seconds, which is still a long-ass time. Because Fallout New Vegas is just... the Gamebryo engine itself is just bad.
Yeah. Well, hopefully...
It's just bad.
Hopefully it'll be a lot better with 4, you know what I mean?
It just doesn't work.
Nope. 4 is going to be on Skyrim's engine, so unless they fix the little programming issue they had where the physics were locked to the frame rate, a lot of people with high-end systems are not going to be able to play 4.
Right.
Because if you're over 60 frames per second in Skyrim, you can't get through the first mission. Your horses are going to be flying all over the place, and they're not going to pull the carriages, and it's bad. I experienced that recently when I wanted to see Skyrim in all of its modified glory, and couldn't.
Jeez. Tying physics to frame rate. What is this, Koei Tecmo?
Well, no, actually, it's Bethesda. So Doom's gonna be really good looking, right?
Just seems like amateur hour right there.
Seems like
we're
totally
really
gonna
is.
see like what is it? Fucking demons flying everywhere because of the unpolished engine.
Right. We're gonna have a lot of it's gonna be a lot more like cave trolls and shit. Those frost giants that fucking like hit things with a hammer and send them across the map.
Chainsaw hammer, dude. You got, come on, it's Doom.
That's pretty much what I've been up to. So it's just a whole lot of talking at people, and then, you know, not talking to myself because I suck at monologuing.
So, Dan.
Oh. Yeah, me doing anything on my back-to-school schedule. Yeah, I don't have... It's like I don't have a lot to report. I mean, again, been playing a lot of Disgaea between commutes. I think I touched TF2 once. I think the only thing really interesting that I got into this week was... Yeah, I've been stopping at a train station that has a comic book store built into it that has its own arcade with, you know, the arcade staples, pretty much. I stopped in there one day and played a few rounds of Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a real fun setup to play on an arcade cabinet. But for a while, I forgot. It wasn't a 6-button game. It was a 4-button game with 2 assist buttons. Kept trying. I lost like an early round because I forgot this isn't a 6-button game, despite there being 6 buttons.
Right.
And it's like, other than that, I got another round of Dark Nexus Arena in this morning, and I just remembered why people haven't seen more gameplay videos from us about that. That's because the queue times last longer than the games themselves. Jeez, even the supposed peak time that everyone's playing with the devs, it's still so long to get into a queue. And I don't know if it was made better or worse, the fact that the latest weekend patch, they introduced an MMR system, so people will actually be weighted in matchmaking based on their skill level. Jeez. Like, I really hope the game goes into something more open soon, so I actually get in more games. It's like, I want to love that game, but I can't when it's so impossible to play.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, it's been my week. Maybe this weekend I'll actually get into something worthwhile.
Right on. So, yeah, damn it, I can't remember the one thing I really wanted to get into, because, again, it was just something that I've been thinking about before the show, and just, damn it, now that it started, I forgot it. So, fuck it, let's start getting into some of our news shit that we got.
Sure.
And, since we were talking Metal Gear earlier, one of the things I did kind of notice while I was playing was there were some funky issues going on with the server, where it would occasionally say I was online, but I wasn't. You know, it kept jumping on and off, and to be real honest, to this day, I still have no idea what the fuck online does for me. Because I've heard people say it has, like, some kind of a Dark Souls mechanic to it where people can just jump in.
You mean the microtransaction-operated bases?
I guess so. That's probably another thing, too.
It's like you didn't know about that?
No, I knew about the microtransactions. I just didn't know what the fuck I was buying. Not saying I bought anything.
So the online aspect of Metal Gear Solid 5 is basically allowing you to transfer your save data from ground zeros.
Yeah, that's a big factor for sure.
Which, you know, not only does it give you various random perks, such as, like, new recruits to your mother base, it Well, I mean, that's pretty much all it really does. But due to the servers timing out so frequently, a lot of people didn't get to transfer their data. So they didn't get their new recruits.
Yeah, that was supposed to be like the data that was crossed over from Ground Zero, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
But yeah, I guess as of 3:15, doesn't it? They don't have an actual day on there. So, but as of now, the servers are supposed to be up and running.
Right, according to the latest update on the article.
Yeah.
But Konami still can't guarantee stable service for the PlayStation 4 version, which is really funny.
Yeah, well, that's probably going to be doubled by the fact that supposedly PSN is down again.
Oh boy.
There's nothing on Sony's server status saying so, but people reported on social media that the PSN is down once more.
Who could have possibly done this?
It's like
Yeah,
anybody, even Sony.
Right.
Yeah. A couple other cool things that I have kind of found out with Metal Gear, though, is that there actually is a PT Easter egg in there. I haven't found it yet, but what it is, it was basically the radio clips that you hear when wandering down the halls of PT, of the family that was murdered at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually find that within one of the outposts, I think, like on their cassette tape radio or something like that.
Right, but in this instance, it's not distorted, so you get to actually hear the full radio broadcast.
You don't have to worry about some creepy voice telling you to look behind you.
Right.
Although that would probably make the Easter egg a little bit more enjoyable if suddenly the ghost showed up and tried strangling Snake.
Well, you don't get that, but it was revealed that you can have the ghost as an inflatable decoy in the game.
Wow.
Really?
They were trying really hard for tie-ins.
Can you blame them?
I guess not, but at the same point, meh.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely some of the cool shit that's been going on with Metal Gear, and trust me, I'll probably be coming back next week talking, more, slight praise of Metal Gear, just because, again, I've just been enjoying it so far.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good week for game releases, that's for sure.
Like, it really sucks this is Kojima's last...
his swan song.
Yeah, his swan song, if you
also,
will.
Konami's last time being relevant in the games
Yeah,
industry.
okay, so we got something we're going to talk about later, at the later half of the show. Just get ready to throw up those hashtag fuck Konamis, folks, because, believe me, it's going to be well-deserved.
Right. Well, it's always well-deserved. You can throw them up whenever you want.
Yeah.
In fact, fuck it, right now. Give me some hashtag fuck Konamis, folks.
There's no time like the present for a fuck Konami.
So while we're waiting... Oh, go ahead.
Well, while we're waiting for that, we can move right on to the next thing here.
Yeah.
Apparently, Chris Bischoff, the guy who made Stasis, he released some screenshots, which is basically reimagining Fallout 4 as, a 2D top-down pseudo-isometric. I mean, there's no actual game behind it. It's just a couple of screenshots that the dude threw up for the lulz. But Stasis is actually going to be a 2D isometric top-down like the old Fallouts, which
it came out this week,
which are what brought this guy into the whole dev sphere. Like he was highly influenced by the Fallout series, like Fallout 1, 2, Tactics. And so if you're a fan of those types of games, give Stasis a shot. It looks pretty good.
I'm gonna have to try it out if I get some cash sometime soon.
Right.
Because, that's one thing. I didn't get to play a lot of Fallout before my computer that had it got cashed in, but I love the style. I love old top-down games like that. And if this is a spiritual successor to classic Fallout, then go all for it.
Totally. I don't know if it's a spiritual successor to Fallout per se, but it's at least there's going to be bits in it that are going to feel like they're an homage.
Yeah. If it plays the same way, I'd totally go for it.
I'm assuming it does. or at least similarly.
Because I am a sucker for action point turn-based systems.
Fair enough.
I wonder if you ever gave Shadowrun Returns a chance, Dan.
Not when it first came out. I just heard way too many bad things about its launch and things it screwed up. Like, I don't know if they ever patched the big problem with games like that being the lack of an autosave system in favor of a checkpoint-based system.
Oh, it's still pretty much checkpoint, but checkpoints occur in all of the new areas. Like, you wouldn't want to save in the middle of combat anyway.
Yeah, I also heard there was a lot of gameplay issues by the virtue that it was optimized for tablet and touch controls. Again, this was when it launched. I haven't really kept up with the game since then.
I had the game day one, and I didn't notice any of those sorts of problems, so I couldn't really say. I'm a fan of the current Shadowrun series. It's pretty good. I was actually streaming Hong Kong before I gave Fallout a run.
I think the only other game out there that has the same kind of action point system would just be XCOM.
Yeah, but like Shadowrun and Fallout are basically like XCOM with a story.
Yeah.
So, and they came first. So, well, Shadowrun didn't, I guess.
Yeah, Shadowrun probably.
Shadowruns.
It was more of a turn-based strategy RPG than a isometric role-playing game. But I know one of the front mission games had an action point system, and everything you could do was tied to an AP bar. That was a lot of fun.
Fair enough.
It's too bad they killed that series so bad.
Right.
So who wants to poop on this next?
I was actually going to go ahead and bring it up because just before the show was starting up, I think this is what I was originally going to get into. Was I got an email to participate in the beta for the new Romero's Aftermath, which apparently is just the third rename for the War Z or Infection Survivor Stories.
Infestation, you mean?
Yeah, Infestation.
Yeah, boycott it.
Well, it says it's free, and I'm saying this right now. Maybe we could do ourselves like a what the fuck is this for the game? Assuming Total Biscuit
is free, you are the product.
Oh. And yeah, correction, it's free if you have an active Infestation account. Otherwise, you can buy it for $14.99 in Steam Early Access.
That's weird. I don't have an active account with it.
Lol.
Did you ever try the War Z?
Yeah, originally when it first came out, somebody had like an extra beta key for it, and they went ahead and threw it my way, so I gave it a shot, but it was supposed to be for 2 days, I think, you were allowed to play it. And just after that, I never bothered, because I thought it was stupid that the game had like a fucking microtransactions, even though you still had to buy the game to begin with.
Yeah, there's nothing good about the War Z / Infestation / Romero's Aftermath. There's no reason to put your money into it. Just don't bother. It's terrible. Move right along.
Yeah. Fucking
okay. Wow. Yeah, they're just using name power to try to sell their game now.
Yes, they are.
It's not John Romero of Doom fame, and it's not the Living Dead creator George A. Romero. It's his son, George C. Romero.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yep.
That's correct.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, so...
Dude, alright, screw this. Let's get a new hashtag. What's our company name again?
Originally, I think it was... No,
Oh,
I don't
Free
remember.
Reign.
Free Reign?
Reign.
Hashtag
Reign
fuck
East.
Free Reign. Fuck
You know
them.
what? No, fuck that. Don't even talk about them. They'll just go away again.
Yeah, that's true. The relevance did kind of slip for a while, and I only even remember them just because I got the email. Oh, man. So, let's go ahead and move on to some stuff over here. And we got a bit of DLC news going on, especially with The Witcher announcing their first paid DLC. Now, I had another thing earlier, but I decided to can it. Was this where they're going to add more romantic choices? Because I had
Hearts of Stone?
Yes.
Well, they're adding a whole lot of stuff. It's basically adding about 10 hours worth of content into an already content-heavy game.
Yeah, isn't it a new story expansion?
Yes.
First and foremost, so...
Yeah, so I mean, you're basically going to be venturing into No Man's Land and another location called Oxenfurt, and you get to take on some quests and do some new stuff. So there is a whole lot more story content. The promotional stuff seems to show a character from the original Witcher, which is kind of neat. She's referenced in 3, but never makes an appearance. That might change in this DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, the second paid expansion is going to be coming up around or before April of next year. And so these are the expansions that were sold together through the expansion pass, which is like the $25 add-on on The Witcher 3. Individual pricing has yet to be announced, but if you're a fan of The Witcher, there's no reason not to grab it. I usually don't like DLC as a staple, but CD Projekt Red still has my loyalty. They have done nothing wrong so far.
Now, I know that you've had some loyalty to the Uncharted series, but how are you feeling now that they're actually going to be releasing a single-player DLC for the series?
I'm amused. I'll give it a shot. Naughty Dog's DLC for The Last of Us was entertaining. So I will give them a chance on Uncharted.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what they were quoted to say, is that the big reason they're doing is it worked well for The Last of Us. They wanted to put that expertise to use with Uncharted and see how it works.
Well, sure, but I mean, you also got to remember that Arnie Meyer is the guy that's explaining all the stuff about The Last of Us. He has been quoted as, "We thought we could put together a really great piece of content as well for Uncharted 4. This is exactly what you have to do with DLC to make it worthwhile. Don't make it just okay. Don't make it just an extension of what's already going on. Put together a really great piece of content. Make it worth the money. And it will pretty much automatically do well. It will sell itself, especially with consumers being the way they are currently."
Yep, and as long as they don't pull another screw up, like they threw, was it the single player, a multiplayer pass DLC, and the Subway advertising in the game. You know, a lot of people are throwing off of that, and the only thing they could use to justify it is that her video games are expensive.
Yeah, it's not the first time you're going to see advertising in games, and it's also not the most intrusive and horrifying part of video game advertising, or in-game advertising inside of your video games.
More on that later.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get to a smaller piece right now that actually got revealed for the Resident Evil 0 HD remake. I thought this was kind of neat, and I figured to throw it in here instead of just leaving it as a normal Facebook update. Where one of the features that they're going to put in with the new Game Plus mode is that they'll actually let you play the main story mode as Wesker.
Is that going to change how the story plays out, or is it just a skin?
You know, I got a feeling it could just be a skin.
I think it's going to be just a skin because it's fucking Capcom.
Yeah. But I wonder if they're going to add any of his like special moves in it or anything like that. Because Wesker is pretty much like an overpowered, motherfucker in the Resident Evil series. And they did that for him in the Mercenaries mode.
Well, this is 0, so it happens before Wesker becomes almighty Super Wesker.
That's true.
This is when he starts working with Umbrella to create super zombies and all that. And even before that with 0, so it's either a skin or something with slight gameplay or weapons tweaks. I doubt it's going to add anything new in terms of story. Because it's a Japanese game, and to be honest, they don't do a lot of story DLC.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really kind of disappointing, because...
They're trying to get off just on using fucking characters and skins as DLC, and I guess it works. I guess that's how they're doing it.
Yeah. Then again, to be fair, this is supposed to be a mode in the game at launch, so it's not something you have to pay for, but what I mean is, in general, is there's not a lot of story expansions in Japanese games.
Right. Well, okay, but I mean, like, still, I don't really have a whole lot of interest in Resident Evil 0 HD Redux Part 2.
Did you ever actually play it the first time around? Because I know you were fairly into Resident Evil whenever Aaron and I would kind of get into it.
I played 1 and 2.
Really? You never bothered with any of the other numbered series?
I bothered with 5. And then I stopped bothering with 5 because I didn't have any friends that I wanted to play with, and the AI was bad and useless.
Oh, it's okay. It's even worse in 0. Mostly because you have to use a partner and you have to like tag them in and out a lot to solve things.
No thanks. Hi, Puma.
It's like they're probably gonna fix. They said they're going to tweak that in the remake, but in the original it was so intrusive and so hard to play around.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
moving right along. So we got some stuff going on with Mega Man, Mighty Number 9 stuff. So we all know at this point there's been a huge backlash with the fan community towards Mighty Number 9, right?
Right.
So their solution to this is to try and get something going on to have an exclusive demo for other people that originally were backers for the game. The question is, do you think it'll work?
I think what they really owe people at this point is a great big apology.
I doubt that's gonna happen, but I don't think it's a good "we're sorry" at all, because the people who are still backing the project want to see the game come out and they're still showing their support. Giving the backers stuff isn't going to help. They should be providing something to the people who don't believe in the game anymore to try to win them back.
For me, it just seems like it's too little too late.
It's like, yeah, either way, with all the delays and the change in the project.
And then the behind-the-scenes drama.
I've just mentioned this I think I mentioned this before. Keiji Inafune has proven himself to be the Japanese Tim Schafer.
Oh no.
It just shows everything that's happened. Everything. Like, I want to see this game come out, and I want to see the see reviews and see how people like it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just taking for damn ever for this game to come out, and all we're getting is another demo that has 4 stages. It's supposed to be part of the final build of the game, but if it's the final build, why is it taking until 2016? It's got something.
Especially when it was supposed to come out in September.
Yep.
Well, but it was supposed to come out earlier than that.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, like, within this year, like, when Dan and I were at Anime Expo, the talk was, this September, you can play Mighty Number 9.
Before that, it was delayed from a spring 2015 release date. And now it's being pushed to 2016.
By the way, Jacob JJ, yes, we are excited for Rainbow Six Siege.
I hope it's as fun as it looks, but we'll have to see. As far as Mighty Number 9, normally delays aren't that big of a deal. I mean, we're talking about, like 9 months, maybe a year's worth of delay.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it sucks, but it's something that people generally get over. The big deal with this one is that they waited too long to tell people that a delay was happening.
Yeah, they pretty much just waited till like the very last second when it was going to be released.
It's like, oh look, this game is supposed to come out in a week. Oh no, we're going to have to push it back until next year. What? Like, you didn't know that you would need to delay it until a week before it's supposed to be out?
Yeah, it was I wouldn't say a week exactly, but it was like a month or so before the game was supposed to launch. They announced this, and it was too close to call on that. Either
Fair
way,
enough.
people who've been following the project have said that from concept to execution, it's just been such a huge disappointment what's been seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I doubt they're delaying it to respond to criticism and improve on those factors. But who knows? Maybe they'll prove me wrong.
I mean, you don't generally delay a release of a title without having a good reason to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times, delays are like, we messed up, and instead of releasing broken trash, we need to fix these things. And normally I accept that. I begrudgingly accept it rather often, but I accept it nonetheless. In instances like Mighty Number 9, it was like, alright, this is coming out very soon. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Alright,
Honestly, though, yeah, it's like from what I've seen from preview builds, it looks like the game it runs smoothly and tight. It just looks like a very bland and mediocre game. It's...
I think Cynically hit it on the nail in the chat room right there, saying that it pretty much just reminds him of Mega Man Legends 3, the cancellation of that.
Oh, yeah.
The day before the demo was due to release? Yeah, that's yep.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like this particular developer's cup of tea is just getting people right on the edge and then just walking away.
Yeah, let's not dig up those old wounds.
Oh, look, we already got Jacob crying in the chat room. Now I'm feeling bad. Cynically, you should feel bad. You made a person cry right now.
That story behind that cancellation was a bunch of bullshit. Let me tell you what.
Feel fucking accomplished.
Either or, really.
Fucking whatever you just did had a great impact. And it only took you one line to do it. Well done, sir.
I guess we'll just close this out by saying, in addition to the demo of the game being available at the game's old September 15th launch date, said that Concept is going to be giving out Steam codes for Mighty Gunvolt, a spin-off game. It wasn't developed by him, but it stars that includes the main character from Mighty Number 9, as well as the characters from Azure Striker, Gunvolt, and Galgun. So starting September 29th, people will be able to get that game for free if they back the project.
Jacob, we're probably going to hold off on hidden information until we can verify that you're telling the truth. No offense.
Right. We don't want to be just airing out rumors and such.
Yeah. With that said, why don't we go over to the other bit that we have going on with Mega Man, and I gotta be honest, I'm not feeling too good about this. So there's actually talk about a Mega Man movie being in works, and part of what's got me extremely skeptical right now is that not only do they have 20th Century Fox working to produce it, but they also have the same guys that worked on, Rise and Dawn of Planet of the Apes, possibly making the movie as well. I'm going like, ugh, that can't be good.
Welp. Just another thing to skip then.
Well, I'm sure we'll see a trailer at some point. Maybe they won't find a way to totally screw it up. Then again, the original Mega Man cartoon was cheesy as all holy hell.
It was cheesy, but it had that late 80s, early 90s cheese to it that you could appreciate it.
It's like it has the nostalgia goggles that made people want a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie in 2017.
It sounds like it's gonna be bad.
COD Comrade, yes, I agree.
I'm on Comrade's side there. It sounds like it's just going to be the movie industry just taking a big giant shit all over your head all over again.
Like the Fantastic Four movie.
Let's not even talk about all of the examples of what Hollywood fucked up.
I'm just glad I didn't put that in my fantasy movie theater.
Yep, on the plus side, our expectations are low since Pixels kind of killed video game movies forever, so we can either be pleasantly surprised or proven right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, with that said, we're definitely reaching the later half of the show, and we got some pretty kind of stupid shit to report on that's kind of been going on with this week. Oh. And we're definitely going to open up the lines to you, the listener, to call in and weigh your thoughts on, if you really think it's that stupid, or not, give us your opinion on the following things that we do talk about. And the way you can get a hold of us is by reaching us on our Skype account at GoodGameGuys1. Send me your friend request there, let me know what you want to talk about, and then we'll try and work you in on the show.
Right.
So, our first thing. So, billionaire Notch has actually been saying that he's never felt more isolated being not even a millionaire, he's billionaire at this point, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So he outbid Jay-Z for a $70 million mansion in Beverly Hills. He has partied with Selena Gomez, and he's Ronry.
you know what this reminds me of, Doug?
What?
Do you remember a year ago when we talked about an article with one person that managed to successfully rake in money with his mobile game? And he was going on about how he felt, rich guilt, if you will, because he managed to make more money than his mom did as a employee of the government.
I don't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, I pretty much just gave you the footnotes right there.
Sure. I still don't remember it exactly because I make it a thing to forget these sorts of stories.
I can't.
I cannot feel pity or sympathy for fucking billionaires. I'm just incapable of doing it.
No, okay.
I've never felt more isolated, effectively says. I've never felt more out of touch with regular people because I don't have to worry about anything ever.
Now, if I can actually point out one thing that does sort of make sense about the new problems that he kind of runs into, is that now he kind of has to worry about individuals that come up to him to try and act all friendly because maybe they're trying to just get at some of his money. And to an extent, I can get that.
That's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah. But to be honest, it's all like, well, what did you fucking expect?
Right.
This is the real life.
It big. Everyone you know and everyone they know and everyone who ever hears about it is going to want a piece for not doing anything.
Hell,
All up and say no.
Hell, there was another story that we covered involving Notch. Remember an indie developer tried to demand Notch should give her money because I'm trans and I'm an independent person and you have fucking a duty to repay the independent scene or something like that.
And we were sort of all laughing at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man with the $1.75 billion net worth. Hey, maybe he'll find some friends and hopefully he'll find a way for himself not to pull a Gatsby.
And keep in mind, he's complaining about shit at 10 in the morning wherever he's at. Like, he set out a tweet, "Oh, I'm in Sweden, and I'm going to sit around and wait for my friends with jobs and families to have time to do shit watching my reflection in the monitor." It's like, well, yeah, your friends have jobs, those things that you have to have when you're not a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And get over yourself. Go fucking buy a helicopter.
Now, I've heard the argument.
Now,
I've heard the argument said that because he's introverted means that we should probably be a little more lenient. Now, I've never tried to pretend to understand what the fuck a lot of the psychology that goes into it, but
not even close.
Not even close. Go ahead, take it. Because this is definitely the argument that I've heard where because he's introverted, it's like the psychology is completely different for him because, he reflects on himself, I suppose.
Because he fucking alienates everyone he fucking talks to, trying to lay on a a guilt trip on people. No, this is just him being a fucking stupid person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't get behind his rationale, but it seems like he's putting a lot more on himself than he really needs to be. Like, oh, I met a nice girl, but she doesn't want to be with me because she's afraid of my life and my fame. Or I'd love to help the world and put my money back into something useful, but I don't want to deal with the same assholes that made me sell Minecraft in the first place.
Nobody made you sell shit. The money made you sell shit. You sold out.
Did I just hear Dan Wright saying that the girl that wants to be with him doesn't want to because she's afraid of his lifestyle?
Well, that's what he said on Twitter.
I'm calling bullshit right here.
Lol.
No one in their right fucking mind would ever go like, I can't handle that rich lifestyle.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, oh, I'm looking for sympathy, I'm rich, but no one likes me. No one likes you because you're a tool.
But anyway, that's kind of our thoughts right now. So we want to hear from you guys. So if you want to just chat out your opinion on, this whole situation where Notch is just, again, feeling completely isolated because I have money now and it makes me not want to be around people anymore.
I have money and a lot of free time, and none of my friends have time to do anything because they have to work for a living.
Let us know what you think, but in the chat rooms, or just by calling us again on our Skype account at GoodGameGuys1.
Man, fuck that guy. Let's move right along.
We got some more stupid bullshit to go on about.
Oh, yeah.
So, here's the next thing, and you can talk about this all you want, fellas. Remember, we talk about anything. You guys should have the right to share your opinion on it, too. So, Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Boycott it.
So, do you want to explain why you want to boycott it, Doug?
So, they are trying to augment your pre-order. This particular pre-order scenario is taking a cue from crowdfunding, which, you know, is okay to do with crowdfunding, but not really okay to do with pre-orders. The more people that pre-order the game, the more tiers of stuff is going to be available for the pre-order, like new cosmetic shit, art packages, all that sort of stuff that you would generally get with a pre-order, right?
Oh, don't forget the exclusive story DLC.
Oh, right.
Yeah. There's that as well. And also, you know, if everyone in the fucking universe pre-orders the game, they'll release it 4 days early. I'm done with Deus Ex. I'm done with Square Enix. This is the worst thing that could ever be popularized ever, and because it's such a huge AAA franchise, it's gonna get away with it. And consumers are going to tell the company that it's okay to continue pulling stupid shit like this, and this is how we end up in a fucking idiocracy society.
Yeah.
We are witnessing the worst possible thing that could ever happen to gaming ever, and it's going to happen. There is no backtracking. There's no way Square Enix is going to pull this back and make it okay. The cat is out of the bag.
Yep.
Like, you are the master of the unspoken word. The moment you open your mouth and fucking speak it, you can no longer control it.
I just don't know what to think. I just don't know what to say to that, because it's them taking the next evolutionary step in the pre-order exclusive bonuses. Like,
right.
People eat this shit up because they don't want to miss out, and that just fits perfectly into their plans.
Of course. I mean, what it basically is going to end up boiling down to is that for every time that companies are told that this is an okay thing to do, they're going to start hiding more and more of the games behind these pre-order paywalls and then release sub-quality products.
Oh, and yeah, the worst part of it is the whole augment your pre-order style thing they're doing is, but they're making pre-order bonuses that you have to choose between. You can't. Yeah. They're showing you, oh hey, here's the stuff you can get.
Here's
but
one
you can
where you
only
have
pick one of each.
Here's one where you have a skin of Jensen and a trench coat, and it comes with a badass shotgun, and it has this one mission DLC. Or you can get this other one with a pistol and him in body armor. It's fucking bullshit.
Right.
And I think I really only have one thing I have to say about this entire ordeal. I never asked for this.
It's like,
right.
Thanks,
like, since when in the fuck did I want RNG decisions to be involved in my fucking pre-order bonuses? I don't even pre-order games, but like this is worst way to do a pre-order scenario, and I never thought I was going to see pre-orders get worse than they already were.
Like, honestly, I've pre-ordered before. The only reason I pre-order these days is, you know, I have some niche tastes, let's be honest, and I just pre-order games because otherwise the stores I go to will have one copy and never restock it.
Sure.
Because the games don't sell.
And I sometimes pre-order. Like, I haven't really these days, but I'll usually pre-order if they come with like some sort of not in-game item, but more just like a collector's item that's, you know, like a keychain or just like a statue or something, because I like that kind of shit.
I pre-ordered one game in the past 6 years, I want to say, and that was Shadowrun Hong Kong. And that's just because I knew what it was going to be. It was going to be more of a game that I really enjoyed, and I did really enjoy Shadowrun Hong Kong. But I knew ahead of time that I was going to enjoy it. They couldn't possibly have fucked it up as bad as, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, Dan, I know...
As anything else, I guess. There's just no way. They're using the same engine, they're using the same scripting, they're using the same everything that worked just fine on my system. So, I'm okay with this. No problem.
Now,
More
Dan...
story, I'll buy it.
Now, Dan, you were talking with us just before the show about other examples of games that were trying to do this whole tiered pre-order system, and I think one of the things that we thought of was the Tales series, at least the new one.
Well, yeah, I've noticed that in Steam particularly will do the tiered pre-order promotions on their storefront for various games, and it's like, I can't remember the games they used to. Like I said, I thought one of the Aliens games did it. I think one of the Warhammer games did it. But the most recent one to do this is Tales of Zestiria, where you don't have to pick and choose, but they've got these tiers that, you know, if you've got the basic pack, you get pre-order exclusive weapons. If enough people pre-order, you then get pre-order exclusive costumes for the male characters, then costumes for the female characters, and the final tier being a free copy of Tales of Symphonia.
Right.
And I can't demonize Valve or Steam for that, because I can't fault them for the promotion, since they're... Yeah, I can't find a source. Yeah, I can't find a source saying they're the ones who approached the companies, the publishers doing this. So I have to assume the publishers are guilty until proven innocent.
Valve has actually gone on record previously saying that all of the non-sale pricing and stuff, all of the pre-order stuff, is all up to the publishers. So in this instance, fuck Bandai Namco.
Okay, yeah. At least in Tales, but, you know, back to Deus Ex, fuck Square Enix.
Right. I'm just not going to participate in Deus Ex. I'm not even sure if I even want to pirate it.
Like, you just want... You're going to treat it like Invisible War?
I'm going to treat it like a redheaded stepchild. I just want nothing to do with it.
Like Invisible War?
Like what?
I swear to you, there was a Deus Ex 2 and it was called Invisible War. I'm not a madman.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. It sounds like you're doing bad work.
Oh, man. So, anyway, yeah, that's kind of what we got going on right there, and I think this is going to be the future of pre-ordering now, ever since Steam offered their refunding policies.
Maybe.
And...
The only way this is going to end up being the future of pre-ordering is if it succeeds. Don't buy the new Deus Ex.
Spread the word, folks.
Don't buy it.
Don't buy it. If you really want to play it, this is the only time we'll endorse pirating.
No, just don't play it. It's like...
I'm not officially endorsing piracy at all. If what you want to do, like if you want to look at the game before you decide to purchase it, after it's already been released, I'm sure there's going to be thousands of streamers on Twitch putting up with their particular pre-order choice. But you can certainly take a look, or Hitbox, or what have you. But Deus Ex has screwed the pooch. Square Enix has screwed the pooch.
You know, would you even say it's even redeemable if it was on a Steam sale?
Only if it comes with everything that was locked behind the pre-order wall.
Fair enough.
Yeah, let's see what the reviews say and see if they change their tune anytime soon.
Alright, looks like we got Akari that wants to jump in on this right now.
Alright.
So let's go ahead and put him in on the show.
Sure.
Here we are, now we're just kind of waiting on him.
Well, sure.
And hey, here he is, Ikari.
Yo, guys, what's going on?
Hey, buddy. So you said you wanted to weigh in your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I sight unseen, because I haven't been following the new Deus Ex and this brouhaha that's been going on. It's having heard Dag's venomous rant about it, though, I gotta. There's no other word to use to describe it. I can pretty much tell you, sight unseen, what the business plan is going to be. It's going to be release the game, and then a couple of months down the road, they're going to release all those pre-order exclusive extras and shit
As DLC.
as DLC that you can buy for tuppence tuppence a bag.
Yep.
$5 a tier. Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, Dag. When you looked at New Vegas, you saw all those the Wastelander pack and the Vault Dweller pack and all that. That was pre-order bonus shit.
Yep.
And it all ended up being on sale with a pseudo Game of the Year edition.
They even did the same thing with Dead Rising a couple of years back.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's the idea of, oh my god, it's a pre-order, buy. I mean, I think Dan's the only one who's got a legitimate cause to pre-order shit.
Right.
I mean, assuming what he says is true and that we aren't just referencing the final segment of last week's episode.
Oh, yeah. No, it's totally Boob Wars. Like, you're only gonna find one copy of that.
It's like, hell no. That's how I do. Anytime I go to a store and buy games and mention the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, they're like, oh, you should pre-order it now. I'm probably not going to get more than one copy of it. Like, maybe they're lying to me. Like, maybe it's true. I've had it happen. Like, hell, it happened with Guilty Gear Xrd. I could not find a PS3 copy of the game after it launched anywhere.
To be fair, we are talking about Guilty Gear.
Yeah, that's like I said, it's niche.
There's niche, and then there's Guilty Gear. Let's call a spade here.
That's fair.
But the idea, and absolutely, fuck game developers. This ties in actually with a lot of the stuff that we were talking about last week, in regard to, or I forget if it was last week or the week before, when we were talking about DLC and when it became okay to release, stuff that was included in the engine itself.
Yeah, it felt like last week.
Yeah, it did feel like last week. But either way, like, it's still a case of a whole bunch of hervdy-blurf, all in the name of guaranteeing sales, which I'm, like, from a business standpoint, I look back and I say, I'm mad because I didn't think of it first. But then I also look at it as a gamer and I say, fuck these guys.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, as a purely looking at it as a business move, it's fucking genius.
It's next level genius.
It's genius.
Like, we're like Epic Mealtime's fucking smart.
As far as being the person that doesn't get to benefit at all and instead is getting raped by these corporations fucking interest in my wallet before they've even released a product.
Yeah.
Fuck this, I quit, I'm done, I'm out. Fuck it, nope.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
There's another game commentator out there who has a term for things like the Metal Gear Solids, where they have their microtransactions inside a $60 game. They call it fee to pay.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's apropos. It's very apropos. I've got no problem with a game like, say, War Thunder saying, here, we make game for you to play, comrade. If you want to give us some fucking money so we can get more vodka, by all means.
Right. And that's sort of what free-to-play games do. I mean, they have to make money somewhere, so it's like, hey, we're going to make this an endless grind, and if you want it to go faster and get into the top-tier shit, you're going to put some money into it, or you're going to be so far behind the curve that you're not going to get into the top tier before people stop playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I downloaded Fallout Shelter for my God damn it, I'm not a rampant
what?
I am not a rampant homosexual. I am not a rampant homosexual. I'm not a rampant. For my Android phone.
Stop it, honey. You're embarrassing yourself.
Oh my, it got worse.
But I mean, I had no problem, saying, "Oh, I get I for like $5, I get 5 robots to auto gather supplies when I'm not actively playing the game." Cool idea.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Right. I mean, like, there are some wallet jabs that people were like, hey, that's actually pretty useful and relevant to my interests.
Yeah.
But when you attach these sorts of transactions to a $60 title, it's like...
It's no longer acceptable, nor cool, nor hip, nor whatever fucking term kids be using these days.
Yeah.
Right. Right. What it is, however, is unfortunately going to work because people are just...
Sheep.
unintelligent.
Sheep. They are
Yeah.
sheep
Yeah.
with wallets attached to their asses.
Pretty much. Like, let me just throw my money at the screen because I want this fucking new dance. I want this thing.
It's like, yeah, I'd have to agree. Like, I've played a lot of free-to-play games, and I gotta admit, yeah, they've got to make money somewhere. You can't. There's no such thing as a free lunch. The only time I think that free-to-play games get too greedy is when they introduce founders packs into their games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Hear me out on this. Hear me out on this.
Okay.
I have no problem with founder packs when we're speaking of a game where if you like really enjoy the products that come out of our studio, if you are a huge fucking fan of the game series that's in question, and we're never going to release this as DLC.
Right.
By all means.
If you want some sort of exclusive forum badge and maybe a fucking skin or something that doesn't affect the overall gameplay for like $250, then go right ahead, knock yourself out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel I did this. I did it with because I mean, I agree. Fuck Square Enix for this thing, but the one department that, in my opinion, validates Square Enix's existence is the Final Fantasy franchise, and Dag will attest to this because I've used it ad nauseum on his stream. I have the I paid $20 for the Twitch developer, the Twitch digital subscriber thing for when they did Final Fantasy Fan Fest. So I have like these little icons on Twitch TV, and my character can run around as an angry fucking Moogle with a dark sword knight. It's just, "Rawr, I'm going to Kupo your nuts."
Pretty much. Like, he uses fucking icons and shit that I've never seen before, and whatever. Like,
But I mean,
like,
I have no.
he paid for them.
I have no regrets for paying for them. Because I know that nobody else will ever be able to get those things.
Right.
Unless they do another fan fest, in which case they'll probably do something more. But that's beside the point.
Right.
It's something where, again, people will have an opportunity to Twitch subscribe if you're not cool enough to go to Vegas, which I goddamn hope it's going to be in Vegas again.
Oh.
And enjoy the show.
Sure.
I think there are two big cases which I really have to damn founders packs. The first being when developers bring out their big guns design-wise for founders pack exclusive content. Like, if you're going to bring your best stuff and lock it behind a timed exclusive pack that most people aren't going to buy into, while the rest of your microtransaction content is going to be the B list by comparison.
Well, give me an actual example of what you mean by that. Like, give me a game that I can look up on Steam and say, "Fuck this game."
I think I know.
It's not Steam, but
I think I know what he's talking about. It's Dark Nexus, right?
Yeah, the most recent example, I may be a little salty on this, is Dark Nexus Arena. They have a Founders Pack program, the first wave of which they've already retired, which you can, buy packs that give you stipends of money to use in the in-game shop, like custom HUD skins that aren't available for purchase, like forum banners, like a little site ward skin, and an exclusive skin to that pack. My biggest problem with that was the Wave 1 stuff was super expensive. All of it was like, most of them were hundreds, if not $250 a piece, and they included 3 of the biggest named characters in universe as cosmetic skins. Like, 3 of the biggest characters per faction are only available for people who bought into this game like in the first 2 months of its development.
Here's the question, Dan. Do these characters have unique skills attributed to them, or do they work like every other skin on that particular unit?
It's like, again, like I said, I'm salty. They are entirely cosmetic. Again, my biggest
and
problem...
you're salty because you missed out.
If it's fair, but I'd say it's a really bad thing when you're locking some of the best things you can give and some of the most in-demand stuff available and making it available so shortly. But I'll move on. The big one...
In response to that, Dan, I have to say, if it's purely cosmetic, number one, there's no detriment to gameplay to not have it. Number two, we are talking, granted, yes, this is a MOBA and therefore should automatically be damned to the round filing bin, but we are talking about Warhammer 40k, you know, a new franchise this does not qualify as.
Right.
I mean, I think that this would perfectly fall under my original statement of what I forgive, you know, developers for.
This is in fact an acceptable sort of Founders Pack.
Well, wasn't Dan
this
actually
isn't like the Mech Warrior Online Founders Pack where you actually got mechs that were exclusive to Founders that could only be
I've got
used
a story
by
for
Founders
that too.
that had different fucking loadouts than you could fit on some of these chassis.
Did they seriously make the Alpha Strike Kit Fox?
Yeah, like the Founders Atlas has fucking weapons that you don't get to put on a regular Atlas.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, continue, Dan.
Yeah, it's like, I have another great story. The absolute, like, objectively, fuck you developers for doing this kind of Founders Pack. The one that provides backer exclusive content that actually changes the game, it gives you different gameplay from what the non-founders have available, and tries to hand-wave it by saying that these things are side grades and do not give an inherent advantage. The example I cite here is, again, my heartbreak of the middle of this year, the Warhammer MMO in development, Eternal Crusade. Their Founders Pack has... You start with getting mostly just the forum badge and a stipend of money. A money in which you can decide to buy whatever thing you have in the store, and that includes, like, it includes armor, weapons, and even like special characters and exclusive classes and vehicles that have been confirmed to have stat bonuses and gameplay changes involved with them.
Is this the only way that you can obtain these classes and stat bonuses? Because, I mean, you just said that this is a stipend to go to the store with.
Yeah,
I would assume that you could also, if you were to so choose, get this MMO or whatever it is and say, hey, I want to spend some of my real world bottle caps and get this thing. Are you telling me that they're going to say, no, I'm sorry, we only take NCR currency here, we don't like your kind?
No, in fact, what they're going to say is, here's a bunch of other things that you can spend your bottle caps on, but that thing is no longer in stock.
Yeah, these things are an exclusive to a Founders store. Only Founders members can purchase these. They will have a cash shop available in the game at launch with different content, but this stuff is exclusive to Founders. And
okay, then absolutely, by all means, continue to condemn it.
Yeah.
You have the all cats are assholes seal of approval.
Yeah. This game has just been a disappointment after disappointment for me, especially after, like, not only them silently delaying the game when it was supposed to come out the end of this year, but also they also had to push back on most of the planned features of the game. Like, at this point, I'm scared that they're not even going to have the other 2 playable classes available at launch.
At this point, it's basically going to be only founders are playing this game because nobody else wants to put up with the buggy bullshit that's left over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I'll say you'll have...
What were you talking about? ESO? I'm sorry. I got
We'll have 2 groups. We'll have the founders that are all stomping the free-to-play players who wanted to play but aren't going to buy into the shit.
Right. It's another Nexon game.
Case closed. Moving on.
Yeah. I think we've definitely kind of talked the whole pre-order concept to death and then some.
Yeah, so let's move right along to product
you know,
placement.
yeah, Ikari, you sit your butt right there because you're about to stand right up the second you hear about this shit.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
So, alright, the new Mad Max game did come out along with Metal Gear, and I've been trying to look into it. I haven't bought it, but because I'm getting the feeling that it might just be Rage with a Mad Max skin on it.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Sure.
I have heard a lot of good things about the game itself, but I'm not hearing a lot of good things about the Day 1 DLC.
Yeah.
And one of the DLCs that they have in it, which is free, mind you, but oh god, it's fucking product placement up the ass.
It's free because you are the product.
Are you ready, Ikari?
Go for it.
The free product placement DLC is you get to download a Rockstar Doom buggy.
It's Rockstar Energy Drink, not Rockstar Games.
Yes, Rockstar Energy Drink.
It's got the Rockstar logo all over it. It's got fucking cans of Rockstar on it. You're basically driving a fucking advertisement for Rockstar.
Yeah.
Do you get to drink the Rockstar and therefore get 5 extra horsepower to your vehicle because you're pushing the accelerator that much harder?
Negative. Nah, it's basically just a cosmetic thing that says, here, feel free to advertise to me.
And you pay for this?
No.
No. It is a free download.
Oh, okay.
As a Rockstar fan, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing, you can drive around advertisements for their product.
Yes, the thirst cutter wagon. Like, on top of that, I think the most bullshit factor of it is there are exclusive thirst cutter challenges available in the game that the games will now...
Not just challenges. Events.
Yeah.
Like Rockstar fucking sponsored races that you only get to participate in when you're utilizing this advertisement car.
Oh, yeah, and the loading screens will advertise these to you after you've downloaded the DLC.
Yeah. It's basically like, I'm an idiot, and I wanted to accept this free thing without knowing what I got into. So now it's going to give me pop-up ads every time I fucking load into a new area telling me these events are going on by Rockstar. Sponsored by Rockstar.
Mad Max drinks Rockstar. You should drink Rockstar too.
Dear Lord.
Now, advertisements in games have happened before. This isn't a new thing.
Yeah.
But the intrusiveness of this particular advertisement, it's replacing your car, man.
You know, I think the only game that's actually done advertisement kind of right by my eye might have been Crackdown. Because you remember when you occasionally walk around, you actually do see billboards, and if you stare at them long enough, they actually do start playing an advertisement?
Well, there was also Battlefield, 2142?
You gotta remind me on that one.
They had fucking advertisements and shit on the billboards there, too, that you never really paid attention to because you were in a fucking combat zone.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what strikes me is the fact that I distinctly remember years and years ago. Let me get my old man cave. When I was your age, Sonny.
I'm sorry. Before you go into that, I gotta direct ourselves over to what Puma said in the chat room.
I wonder what the Adamant Eve adult website vehicle would look like. Probably like the Dildozer from Idiocracy.
How about the Ashley Madison battle van?
Oh, that's just gonna look like a whole lot of leaked emails. I would actually pay for that, actually.
No, the Ashley Madison battle van is a Yahoo company car.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
But I remember years and years ago, I forget what game it was. I think it was like a GTA clone or something like that. And it was the first time that real world companies were advertising inside the game. And I remember people getting so butt mad about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, that was Crackdown.
Was it Crackdown?
I think so, because it was essentially GTA clone, except you were the cop. But yeah, it was what I was talking about, where you would just look at the billboards and they would come to life, essentially playing the advertisement for you.
This might have been even before Crackdown, but anyways,
Ooh, okay.
and I remember getting people getting so butt mad about this, and it ties into the previous discussion about levels of acceptance that people will come to as the years go by.
Sure.
You know, where people looked at you and said, "Excuse me, you want me to pay for stuff that is already part of the game?" And, you know, now it's become, "Oh, well, whatever." You know, before it was, "Excuse me, you want to download more stuff onto my computer so you can shove advertisement into my screaming mouth when all I want to do is have a gun that shoots shurikens and lightning at people?" Excuse you, sir. You know, and now it's to the point where we're saying, it's not so bad.
I think there were some PS1 games, like racing games, that advertising it, but the earliest game I can think of that had like blatant advertising in it, like by intention, was Sonic Adventure 2. They had a bunch of advertising for soap shoes.
Don't even get me started on soap. Soap
not that
is
a lot of
personal
people buy.
crusade
Ooh.
I have against that shoe in that game, because those fucking shoes, because of that game, were more prevalent than a Valley Girl accent at the high school I went to.
I feel like we need to get you on the show next week to tell us the story.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't.
It's
Not-
officially.
not-
It is
not-
decided. It is done.
You're paying for the booze.
Yes.
You're paying for the booze.
Okay. No, that done deal. I got booze right here, dude. You know where I live.
But
You
yeah,
live an hour and a half away from me, sir.
Yeah, you can stay the night.
That
You can
booze
stay the
is
night.
False. False, in fact. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your show.
Alrighty. Thanks for hanging out with us, Ikari.
Take it easy, gents.
Alrighty.
yeah, it's like now that I
It's
think
always a fun
about
time when Ikari comes in.
yeah, now that I think about it in retrospect, this reminds me a lot of when Mario Kart 8, they had free DLC that let you drive around in carts that were designed after Mercedes-Benz cars, I believe.
I do recall that, and I remember people throwing a huge
Yeah,
bitch fit
people
about
were
that.
people had a lot of backlash on that.
Advertising inside of video games is historically reprehensible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has never really been an accepted thing. It will always meet with backlash. I mean, remember all the way back to Space Invaders way back in the day and their Pepsi level.
Mm.
You know, it's going to continue happening just because the backlash hasn't ended up in boycotts.
Yeah.
And that is really the only thing that companies are going to understand nowadays.
By the way, speaking of shit that we'll probably start boycotting now, folks, I hope to God you had your hashtag fuck Konamis ready, because this is where it's going to pay off.
Uh-oh.
So, here's some interesting shit that wound up happening to a fan of the Metal Gear Solid series who decided to post up a tweet of his fan art. Konami filed...
No, wait.
What?
It didn't even happen when the fan posted it. Kojima retweeted it. Kojima liked it enough to say, "Hey world, check this out." And then Konami filed a copyright claim.
Yep.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, this is a fairly well-known artist who's done a lot of Metal Gear Solid fan arts. They're like known for it. So people are taking notice. This is like Konami, like what is their PR team?
They fired them when they decided to move over to gambling.
Like, what manages their PR at this point? Do they just have a minute? Do they just have some kind of like red-skinned minotaur guarding their social media or something? Like, what kind? Like, where do people get this idea? It's like, oh no, somebody drew something from our game, but like. I almost want to do a Rick and Morty style, like, ooh, what? Oh, but Jesus, like, and this is even Japan. Like, their copyright infringement laws are even less stringent. People make money drawing fan fiction of Japanese licenses. How do you?
Right.
I'm without words.
You know what? It's me.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's Konami.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is what they're becoming, and good riddance.
I'm honestly wondering if they got bought up by the Yakuza at this point and they're just a front.
It's like later fuckers.
That might actually be closer to reality than you realize.
I stumbled onto something. The hit squad is going to come to me now.
You just bought yourself a lot of trouble, mister.
Quick, everyone, defend me with their hashtag #FuckKonamis. Go!
Nah, I'm too lazy. I don't want to type.
Oh, man. Seriously, though. Hashtag #FuckKonami. Like, this is some outright bullshit right there.
It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous.
Let's wrap things up.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and start finishing things off since I don't necessarily think we're going to have anyone else call in right now.
Yeah, man. We're already over time.
Caroni.
Fuckeroni.
Oh, man. So, one of the last things that we kind of have here, let's kind of cheer ourselves up with some cool shit that's going on with Japan. I love you, chat. Never change. Oh, man. So, one of the things that's going on in Japan right now that has me excited that I actually would love to plan a trip over to Japan just to check this out. Their Universal Studios actually has an event there where I feel going through like the screenshots and the description, it kind of sounds like it's like one of those walkthrough mazes, but it's also like a laser tag at the same time for Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's that mix. It's a Resident Evil show. It's a hybrid of a stage show, a like maze, and a like tag event. It's like it's super faithful. I gotta admit, like everything in there looks amazing. They got everyone welcome to Raccoon City tickets. You've got the zombies that look straight out of the game. Like my favorite part is the liquor costume is on point. It's like looks straight out of the fucking game.
Yeah. And you actually do wander around Raccoon City, like you come to the Raccoon City Police Department, where you see Mr. X fucking standing right there, getting ready to kick your ass. Although I'm pretty sure they don't really touch you because, you know, that would cause a whole bunch of lawsuits.
Right.
Yeah, though I think it'd be worse for the actors than it would be for the people.
That's true.
It's like if
Do
you
you
ever
have to pretend to be in like tank style control mode?
Oh, I hope
I
so.
would.
I would. It's the only way I'm going to move around there. I just got to do tank controls. I know I'm hoping myself more vulnerable to getting attacked, but you know what? Keep to the spirit of things. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
Right.
I want to see someone not only do that, but do faithful like one-to-one animations for the guns. Like do the frame-by-frame animation cycle for each weapon for the authentic experience.
That sounds like a lot of practice and planning.
Yeah, I'm sure
We have time.
You know, here's a secondary thought. Just don't go.
Why?
Man.
What's wrong with you?
I don't really care about Resident Evil, as it turns out.
As we found out earlier. Only playing Resident Evil 1 and 2. Fuck's the matter with you?
Oh.
And 5.
And 5, yep.
I don't blame you for that one.
that was pretty much like, I haven't checked this series out in a while. I'm gonna get this game, and then I fucking immediately regretted it. Yeah, it was basically like, I've done this to myself.
You kind of did, because you missed out a lot of plot points.
But at the same time, no interest in the rest of the series.
Yeah, at least you didn't have to suffer through 6.
No, like it really seems that the dev team just started.
See, you say suffer.
Flopping a steamer on the fucking game series.
See, Dan, you say suffer through 6. And here I am just kind of sitting here going like, you call that suffering? Bitch, play Survivor.
Well, how about not? You could just as easily smack yourself in the balls with a tack hammer and have more fun.
Or how about we never wish the pain that is Operation Raccoon City on anybody? God.
So yeah, just don't go.
Yeah. Well, at least go if you're going to Universal Japan, check it out, but, yeah, that's kind of it.
Alright.
Did I call you Dad? I don't think I called you Dad.
What?
Apparently Farrapalm's saying I might have called you Dad by mistake.
Oh. Well,
I don't recall doing that. I might have to listen to the replay now. And you
want to
know,
son.
And you want to know how you can check out the replay of the show? You can check it out by heading to our YouTube channel at Good Game Guys Show, where we will update this upload this episode. Man, there's a lot of Freudian slips going on that I'm half catching and half not.
Well, what if?
Dad, help me
at least
out.
You're noticing. Well, son, what you need to do stop calling me Dad. It's the first step.
Was I adopted?
Yes.
So yeah, folks, head over to YouTube where you can hit the subscribe button there to keep up to date with all the videos that we do upload. We do other stuff besides upload our episodes occasionally.
Right, every now and again.
And the other way you can keep up to date with a lot of the stuff that we do is by hitting the follow button on both Facebook, Hitbox, and Twitch.
Right.
You can actually watch some of the other co-hosts do some of their streams by following us as well. In fact, Dag, I'm pretty sure we'll start picking up his adventures in the Wastelands again just after this.
Right.
So stick around. Or head to his channel, whichever. Both work.
Right.
So, with that said, like, follow, subscribe. Do it, folks. We love you. No, not really, but we love you.
Be taken seriously.
Oh, man. So, with that said, this is Dr. Captain.
I'm Dick.
And I'm the NPC.
Speaking on behalf of the Loud Kid, this is the Good Game Guy saying, good game, everyone.
GT.